A very good morning to all of you. Now coming to next lecture. In previous lecture we have seen conversion of z parameters, y parameters to s parameters, followed by conversion of abcd parameters and h parameters to s parameters and vice versa, right? They will give a 2 by 2 matrix either in z matrix form or y matrix form or abcd matrix form or h matrix form. You have to convert into S matrix form. All those we have seen under previous lecture. Now coming to next topic, that is microwave devices, right? Now here you have devices are classified into two types. One is microwave active devices. One is microwave active devices and another one is microwave passive devices, right? You have different types of microwave devices. Now among those microwave devices, those are classified into microwave active devices and another one is microwave passive device. You know the meaning of active component and passive component. Here also same thing. Microwave devices are classified into two types. One is microwave active devices and another one is microwave passive devices. Now you know the meaning of active and passive. Now let us see what are the different types of microwave active devices and what are different types of microwave passive devices, right? Now coming to microwave passive devices, you have different types like E-plane T junction. We call it as E-plane T junction, and it exhibits a property of power division and power combination, right? And another one passive device is H-plane T junction. Another passive device is H-plane T junction, and this also exhibits a property of power division and power combination, right? And these two, either we can call it as power divider or power combiner. Power combiner or power division. See, you have under microwave passive devices you have E-plane T junction and H-plane T junction. Now these are 3-port junction. It contains only 3 ports. Now it exhibits a property of power combination, right? If you give input from one port, power is combined at another port, right? If you give input from one port, power is divided between those two ports, right? That I will say while explaining about these two junction, right? You have E-plane T junction passive device and another one is H-plane T junction passive device, and it exhibits a property of power division and power combination. That's why those are also called as power combiner or power divider, right? Now these are two microwave devices, two microwave passive devices. Now coming to third one, EH-plane T junction. Third passive device, microwave passive device, is EH-plane T junction, right? Combination of both E-plane T junction and H-plane T junction. Now this is also called as magic T. Why it is called magic T, that I will say while explaining about EH-plane T junction. And it is also called as hybrid T or magic T. Hybrid indicates combination of those two. That's why it is called hybrid T or magic T. Why it is called magic T? What is magic in that particular T junction, that I will say while explaining about EH-plane T junction. Now coming to third microwave passive device is EH-plane T junction. Now this is a combination of E-plane T junction and H-plane T junction, right? Now coming to fourth one, right, you have directional coupler. This is also one of your microwave passive device, and this contains 4 ports. Only E-plane T, H-plane T contains 3 ports. Now EH-plane T contains 4 ports and directional coupler also contains 4 ports, right? Now behind this you have isolator components such as isolator, and another one is circulator, and another one is gyrator, and you have attenuators, and you have rat race junction, and you have two-hole directional coupler. Now all these are microwave passive devices. Now among all these microwave devices in your syllabus you have power divider, nothing but your E-plane T and H-plane T, and another one is EH-plane T, and another one is directional coupler, and another one is attenuator. This includes in under your syllabus of microwave passive devices. All these are different types of microwave passive device. You know the term passive, right? And coming to active devices, right, you know diodes are included. Now under these diodes you have gun diode, and you have Schottky barrier diode, and you have transistors, and you have oscillators, mixtures, etc. Now all these are microwave active devices, and all these are microwave passive devices. See, you have different types of microwave devices. Now among that microwave devices, those are classified into active components and passive components. You know the term active component and passive component. Now coming to passive devices, all these are E-plane T junction, H-plane T junction, EH-plane T junction, or magic T or hybrid T, directional coupler, isolator, circulator, gyrator, attenuator, rat race junction, and two-hole directional coupler, and you have bath hole directional coupler also. Now all those are microwave passive devices. Now coming to microwave active devices, you have diodes, transistors, oscillators, mixtures. Under diodes you have gun diode, and you have pin diode also. Pin diode, Schottky barrier diode, transistors, oscillators, mixture. Now all these are your microwave active devices. Now let us briefly see one. First is, let us see passive devices. Next we will see active devices, what are included under your syllabus. Now first let us see H-plane T junction, first microwave passive device. Now let us see about H-plane T junction. Now this is the structure of your H-plane T junction, and it is also called as current junction. Why it is called current junction, that I will say it now. This is the structure of your H-plane T junction. Now if you see this is your rectangular waveguide, right? If you see this structure, this is your rectangular waveguide, and this is your A value, and this is your B value, right? Now for this rectangular waveguide, right, if you see this structure, this is your rectangular waveguide, and this is also rectangular waveguide. Those both are your rectangular waveguides only. Using two rectangular waveguides, we are forming a H-plane T junction, right? Now, and it contains port 1, port 2, and port 3, right? If you see this structure, now this H-plane T junction, how it is formed? See, you are cutting this is your rectangular waveguide, right? You are cutting this rectangular waveguide along this width. Along this width you are cutting rectangular waveguide, and you are inserting port 3 into it, right? See, this is one rectangular waveguide. You are making a cut along the width of this main waveguide, and you are inserting port 3. That particular port 3 we call it as HR, right? Now this H-plane T junction is formed by cutting this rectangular slot along the width of the main waveguide, right? This H-plane T junction is formed by cutting this main rectangular waveguide along the width of this main waveguide, and attaching this port 3. You are attaching port 3 to it, and this is how this H-plane T junction is formed, right? Now this port 1 and port 2 are collinear to each other, and port 3 we call it as HR, right? Now how H-plane T junction is formed? See, this is one rectangular waveguide, right? You are cutting this we call it as main waveguide, right? You are cutting this rectangular waveguide along its width, and you are inserting port 3 into it. You are inserting this particular port 3 into it, and this forms the H-plane T junction. And here port 1, port 2 are collinear to each other, and port 3 we are attaching to the main waveguide, that we call it as HM. Those two are rectangular waveguides only. But for the main waveguide, we are making a slot along its width, and we are inserting port 3 into it. And if you see this, all the three ports, port 1, port 2, port 3, and all lies on the plane of magnetic field. Now that's why it is also called as current junction, right? If you see port 1, port 2, port 3, now this will lie in the axis of magnetic field, that is, it will lie in the plane of magnetic field. Now that's why it is called current junction, right? Now this is about the description of H-plane T junction, right? How it is formed, right? Now why it is called current junction, right? Now this we call it as main waveguide. We are making a slot along its width and we are inserting port 3 into it. Now this forms the structure of H-plane T junction, and port 1 and 2 are collinear to each other, and port 3 is your side arm. We call it as the side arm also, side arm or H arm, right? Both are same, right? Now this is about your structure of H-plane T junction. Now let us see its property. Now let us see its property. Right? Now if I give input from port 1 and port 2, if I give input from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? Now what is input to your junction? Power, right? As we have seen under scattering parameters, input power or incident wave, that is nothing but here we call it as A, right? And output power or the reflected wave, that is nothing but here value we denote it as B, right? Now I will give input from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase. Now let us assume I am giving a input power of A from port 1 and input power of A from port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? When I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, now where you will get output you will get from port 3, right? If I give input from port 1 and 2, output is collected at port 3. Now what is the output you will get? 2A, addition of those two input powers, whatever the input that you are getting from port 1 plus input power from port 2, which is nothing but 2A. This is one property. Now input given from port 1 is A and input given from port 2 is also A. Now if I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, now output you will get from port 3. Now what you will get? Addition of those two input powers, that is 2A, right? Which property is it? Is power combination. Power is getting combined at port 3, that's why it is also called as power combiner, right? If I give input from port 1 and port 2, output which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? Output you will get from port 3, which is the addition of those two input powers, that's why you will get 2A, and power is getting combined at port 3, that's why it is called power combiner, right? Now if I give input from port 3, right? Now I am giving input from port 3. Now assume 2A, right? Now I am giving input from port 3. Now assume it as 2A. Now where you will get output? You will get output from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? Now if I give input power from port 3 as A, right? Now let us assume I am giving input power from port 3, right? What is the input amount of power? That is A, right? Now where you will get output you will get from port 1 and also port 2. Output you will get from port 1 and also port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase. If you are giving input power amount of power as A through port A, output at port 1 will be half of that power and also port 2 will be half of that power, right? Now when I give input power from port 3, now when second property, when I give input power from port 3, now where you will get output at port 1 and port 2, and these two are equal in magnitude and phase, right? Now power is getting divided, right? Power is getting divided between port 1 and port 2, that's why it is also called as power divider, right? Now let me briefly explain its property. If I give input power from port 1 and port 2, output you will get from port 3, input given from port 1 and input given from port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase. Output will result at port 3, that is addition of those two input powers, nothing but 2A. Power is getting combined at port 3, right? Now that's why it is called power combiner. Now coming to its another property. Now if I give input power from port 3, output you will get from port 1 and also port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? If I give input amount of power as A, output at port 1 will be A by 2 and output at port 2 will be A by 2. That means if I give input power from port 3, output is getting divided between port 1 and port 2. That's why it is called power divider. Now this is about explanation about H plane T junction. Now let us prove, we have to prove its property by using scattering parameters. We have seen scattering parameters. Now let us prove these two properties. We have seen power combination property and power dividing property. Now these two properties of H plane T now can be completely defined by its S matrix, right? Now these two properties, power combination property, if I give input power from port 1 and port 2, power you will get from port 3, that is power combining. If I give input power from port 3, power you will get from port 1 and port 2, that is power dividing property. Now let us prove its property using scattering parameters, right? Now how many ports it contains? 1, 2, 3, right? Now it is a 3-port junction. Now it is a 3-port junction. H plane T junction is a 3-port junction. Now what is order of S? Order of S will be 3 by 3. We have seen scattering parameters for n number of transmission line in previous lecture, right? Now what is the order of S over there? N by n. It contains n number of transmission line, order will be n by n. But here it contains 3-port junction, whether it is transmission line or junction, both are same. Now here it contains 3-port junction, hence the order of S matrix will be 3 by 3, right? Now represent S matrix of order 3 by 3, that is S11, S12, S13, S21, S22, S23, and another one is S31, S32 and S33, right? Now this is the order of S matrix because it contains 3-port junction. If it contains 4-port junction, order of S will be 4 by 4, right? If it contains 5 ports, order of S will be 5 by 5, right? Now this is the order of S matrix. Since it contains 3 ports, right, order of S will be 3 by 4. There it contains, in previous lecture I have said, for n number of transmission line, there you will get order of S as n by n. If you contains 2 transmission line, order of S will be 2 by 2, like this, right? How many number of transmission lines or how many ports it contains, that will be the order of the S, right? Now this is the order of S, right? Now from the property of S matrix, now S is a symmetric matrix, right? S is a symmetric matrix. Now what is symmetric matrix? Sij equals to Sji, right? S is a symmetric matrix. Now Sij equals to Sji, that means S12 equals to S21 and S13 equals to S31 and similarly S23 equals to S32, right? Now from the property of symmetry S matrix, in previous lecture I have seen S is a square matrix, S is a symmetric matrix, S is a unitary matrix, right? And we have another properties, that is product of two S parameters will give you 0 when k not equals to j, and it will give you 1 when k equals to j, right? Now from that properties we know that S is a symmetric matrix. Now since S is a symmetric matrix, Sij equals to Sji, you will get this property, right? Now coming to next one. Now from H plane T property. Now from H plane T property we have seen two properties, right? Power combination and power dividing. Now from the H plane T property, right? Now S, now I am giving input from port 3, right? If I have said in previous lecture Sij, right? Now Sij indicates input you are giving from jth port and output you are collecting from ith port. Now let us assume S12, input you are giving from port 2 and output you are collecting from port 1, right? Now I have represented second one, right? Input I am giving from port 3, right? If I give input from port 3, now where you will get output? Port 1 and port 2. which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? That's why S13 equals to S23 from the property of H plane T. Now S13 equals to S23. Now if I give input power from port 1, okay, that is not included, only one property is required. Input I am giving from port 3, right? Input I am giving from port 3. Now where you will get output? Port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase. That's why S13 equals to S23, right? Now as I have said, in input, if it is S12, input you are giving from port 2 and output you are collecting from port 1. Input you are giving from port 3, right? If I give input from port 3, where you will get output? Port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase. That's why S13 equals to S23, right? Now coming to port, another property, port 3 is perfectly matched. Port 3 is perfectly matched. Now what is meaning of perfectly matched? ZL equals to Z0, right? When a particular transmission line or when a particular port 3 is perfectly matched, you won't get any reflection from that particular port or the transmission line, right? When port 3 is perfectly matched, then what is the value of S33? 0, right? Now port 3 is perfectly matched, right? Now port 3 is, now consider this is port 1 and this is port 2 and this is port 3, right? Now this port 3, for this particular case, ZL equals to Z0, load impedance equals to source impedance. When load impedance equals to source impedance, you won't get any reflected power, right? You won't get any reflected power. That means B3 will be 0. For this particular case, you won't get any reflected power, right? See, consider port 1, port 2 and port 3. Now for this particular port 3, it is perfectly matched. Then what is the meaning of perfectly matched? ZL equals to Z0, right? When ZL equals to Z0, you won't get any reflection, right? When I give input power from port 3, you won't get any output power from port 3, right? If I give input power from port 3, you won't get any reflected power because port 3 is perfectly matched. When a particular port or a particular transmission line is perfectly matched, you won't get any reflection from that particular port, right? I'm giving input power from port 3, you won't get any reflected power because port 3 is perfectly matched. That's why S33 is 0, right? Now with these properties, right, if I substitute all these values, now what will be the S? I am substituting all these values, right? Now what will be the S, right? Now I am substituting all these values. Now what is first one? You have S11, right? S11 remains as it is. Now coming to next one, you have S12. S12 also remains as it is, and S13 also remains as it is, right? And next you have S21, right? Now from the symmetric property, S21 equals to S12. Now S21 is nothing but S12. Now next one is S22. S22 remains as it is. Now we have to substitute all these properties in this particular matrix. I am writing this matrix S, right? Now what is S23? From the property of H plane T, if I give input power from port 3, that is, if I give input power from port 3, output is collected from port 2 and port 1, which are equal in magnitude and phase. That's why S23 equals to S13. Now what is S31? S31 from symmetric property, it is nothing but S13, right? Now S32, right? Now S32 is nothing but S23, and S23 is nothing but S13, and S33 is perfectly matched, it is 0, right? If I substitute all the values, only this will get confused. S32, only S32. From symmetric property, S32 equals to S23. Now again from H plane T property, S23 is nothing but S13. That's why it will get S13, and S33 is perfectly matched, you will get it as 0, right? Now what is another property of S matrix? S is a unitary matrix, right? Now S is a unitary matrix. Now that indicates S into S conjugate is equals to I, right? Now S into S conjugate equals to I. Now from the property of S matrix, S is a unitary matrix, which is nothing but S into S conjugate equals to I. Now what is S? After applying all those properties, S we got it as S11, S12, S13, and S12, S22, S13, and here you have S13, S13, 0 into its conjugate, that is S11 conjugate, S12 conjugate, and S13 conjugate, and S12 conjugate, and S22 conjugate, S13 conjugate, S13 conjugate, S13 conjugate, 0, right? Now this is equals to identity matrix of order 3 by 3, that is 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, right? Now S into S conjugate equals to I, right? Now this is after substitution of S matrix, right? Now multiply R1 C1 row 1 with column 1, right? Now if I multiply R1 C1, what you will get? S11 into S11 conjugate, that I can represent it as mod S11 square, right? S11 into S11 conjugate, that is nothing but mod S11 square. Now S12 into S12 conjugate plus mod S12 square plus mod S13 square. R1 C1, what is the value? 1, right? Now this is equals to 1, right? Now similarly multiply R2 C2, R2 row 2 with column 2. Now what you will get? Mod S12 square plus mod S22 square plus mod S13 square. Now what is R2 C2 value? 1, right? Now this is equals to 1. Now similarly row 3 with, represent it as equation number 1 and this as equation number 2. Now similarly multiply row 3 with column 3, right? Now if I multiply row 3 with column 3, mod S13 square plus mod S13 square. Now what is R3 C3 value? 1, right? Now this is equals to 1, right? Now if you solve this, S13 square plus S13 square, which is nothing but 2 times of S13 square, which is equals to 1. Now from this, S13 is nothing but 1 by root 2, right? We got one value of scattering parameter, that is 1 by root 2, right? Now S13 is nothing but 1 by root 2. Now this represent it as equation number 3, right? Now similarly multiply row 3 with column 1. Row 3, this is your row 3 and this is your column 1, right? Now similarly multiply row 3 with column 1. Now what you will get? S13 into S11 conjugate plus S13 into S12 conjugate, S13 into S11 conjugate plus S13 into S12 conjugate, this will be 0. Now what is the value of this R3 C1? 0, right? Now this will be equals to 0, right? Now substitute value of S13, that is 1 by root, if I take S13 common from this S13 and from this S13, take S13 common, 1 by root 2 of S11 conjugate plus S12 conjugate, which is equals to 0, right? Or else take S13. If I take S13 common, this is the expression you are get. Anyhow S13 is not equals to 0 because we got the value as 1 by root 2. Now what is equals to 0? S11 conjugate plus S12 conjugate, this is equals to 0. We have to find out the values of S11, S12, S13. That's why we are multiplying R1 C1, R2 C2, R3 C3, right? Now we have, and we have to, after getting S matrix, we have to prove the property of H plane T junction, right? Now from this expression, S11 plus S12, S11 conjugate plus S12 conjugate, which is equals to 0. Now from this expression, now S11 conjugate equals to minus S12 conjugate, or S12 conjugate equals to minus S11 conjugate. Both are possible, right? S11 conjugate equals to minus S12 conjugate, or S12 conjugate equals to minus S11 conjugate, right? Nothing but S11 equals to minus S12 or S12 equals to minus S11, right? Now S12 equals to minus S11, right? From this expression we got it as S12 equals to minus S11, right? Now represent it as equation number 4, right? Now all this we are doing is to find out the values of scattering parameters, and using, after finding scattering parameters and substituting in the matrix, we will get a S matrix of H-plane T junction. Now using that H matrix of H-plane T junction, we have to prove the property of H-plane T, right? If you are not getting the property of H-plane T, that is power combination and power dividing, whatever the scattering matrix that you have got is wrong, right? Now let us do that. Now we got S12 equals to minus S11, right? Now substitute equation 4 in equation 1, right? Substitute equation 4 and equation 3, both the equations. Substitute equation 4 and equation 3 in equation number 1. Now what is equation number 1? That is mod S11 square plus mod S12 square plus mod S13 square, which is equals to 1. Now this is your equation number 1. Now S12 is nothing but minus S11. You have mod over there, right? Mod over there, and that's why you will get S11 square, right? You have mod, and S13 square is nothing but half. S13 is 1 by root 2. S13 square, you will get it as half. Now if you solve this, 2 times of mod S11 square, which is equals to half. Now from this you will get S11 as half. S11 you will get the value as half, right? Now from equation 4, now S12 is nothing but minus S11. S12 is nothing but minus S11. Now what is the value of S12? Minus 1 by 2, right? Minus 1 by 2. S11 we know, S12 we know, S13 we know. Now what is left out? S22 we have to find out, right? Now compare equation 1 and 2, right? Now compare equation 1 and 2. Now this is your equation number 1 and this is your equation number 2. Now mod S11 square plus mod S12 square plus mod S13 square equals to 1. Now mod S12 square plus mod S13 square, which is equals to 1. If you compare these two equations, now S11 is equals to S22, right? Now S11 equals to S22. Now this implies S22 is nothing but half. Now substitute all the values, right? Substitute all the values and you'll get final S matrix, right? Now S matrix is nothing but S11, S12, S13, S21, S22 and S12 only. S21 is nothing but S12, S22, and here it is S13, 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 0. Now if I substitute all the values, what is the S matrix? What is the value of S11? Half, right? S12 is nothing but minus S11, that is minus half. S13 is 1 by root 2 minus half. S22 is half. S13 is 1 by root 2 and S13 is 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 0. Now this is the S matrix of H-plane T junction, right? Now using this, now let us check whether we got correct matrix or not, right? If using this matrix we can prove the H-plane T property, then whatever the matrix that we got, whatever the S values that we got are correct, right? Now using this matrix, if we can't prove the power division property and power combination property of H-plane T junction, whatever the matrix that we got is wrong. That means you have done somewhere mistake, right? Now let us prove that statement, right? Now we know that B is equals to SA, right? Now what is B? Reflected power or the reflected wave. S is the reflection coefficient or scattering parameter, and A is nothing but input power or incident power, right? Now how many output powers you will have? Output power through port 1, that is denoted by B1, and output power through port 2, that is denoted by B2, and output power through port 3, that is denoted by B3, right? Now here you will have B1, output power through reflected power through port 1, port 2 and port 3. Now what is S matrix that we got? half minus half 1 by root 2 minus half half 1 by root 2 1 by root 2 1 by root 2 0 that we have derived till now. Now what is a value input power through port 1, that is a1, input power through port 2, that is a2, and input power through port 3, that is a3, right? Now from this matrix b1 is nothing but a1 by 2 minus a2 by 2 plus a3 by root 2, right? This is the value of b1. And similarly b2 is nothing but minus a1 by 2 plus a2 by 2 plus a3 by root 2, right? Now b3 will be a1 by root 2 plus a2 by root 2, right? Now these are the values after multiplying S matrix with input powers, right? Now coming, let us prove its property. Case 1. Case 1 is your now let us prove its property. Now input power through port 3 only. Your which property is power division property. Power division property of H plane T junction. Now input power through port 3 only. You are giving input power through port 3 only. Now what is input power through port 3? That is denoted by A3, right? Now let us assume it as input power that you are giving from port 3 as some amount of power, that is A, right? Now what is input power through port 1? 0. A1 is 0 and A2 is 0. Input power through port 1 is 0 and input power through port. You are giving input power through port three only through port 3 you are giving input power, that I am denoting it as A. Now input power from port 1 and port 2 you are not giving any input power, that's why it is 0, right? Now if I substitute A3 equals to A, right? Now what is B1? Now B1 you will get it as A by root 2 because A1 is 0, A2 is 0, A3 is nothing but A. Now substitute these values in these equations, right? Now represent it as equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. Now if I substitute all those values in equation 1, 2 and 3, now what is B1? You are getting A1 is 0, A2 is 0 because you are not giving any input power from port 1 and 2. What you will get? A by root 2. Now what is B2 that you are getting? A by root 2. A1 is 0, you are not, no input power from port 1, no input power from port 2. A3 is some amount of input power, that is A by root 2. Now what is B3? 0, right? Now which property it is? Power division property of H plane T junction, hence proved, right? Now let us conclude the statement. Now if I give input power from port 3, output you will get from port 1 and port 2, right? Output you will get from port 1 and port 2 which are equal in magnitude and phase. You may get doubt, ma'am, you have said previous you will get A by 2 and A by 2, but here you are getting it as A by root 2 and A by root. Exactly, you won't get exact power, is not possible under any microwave device or any microwave component, right? You just see whether you are getting equal, those two powers are equal in magnitude and phase or not, right? You won't get exactly A by 2 or A by 2. You will get some amount of power, you will get some amount of power, maybe some reflections will be there. You won't get exact device, is not, exact device is not possible under any conditions, right? That's why you'll get A by root 2, B2 as A by root 2. Now this property is full. If I give input power from port 3, output you'll get from port 1 and port 2 which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? Which are equal in magnitude and phase. Now this is power division, hence proved, right? Now coming to case 2, input power is given from port 1 and port 2 which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? And A3 will be 0, A3 equals to 0. Input power from port 1 and input power from port 2 which are equal in magnitude and phase, no input power from port 3. Now what is B1 you will get? B1 you will get it as 0, right? and B2 also 0. A1 is A by 2 minus A by 2, both will get cancelled, and A3 is 0. Minus A by 2 plus A by 2, both will get cancelled, and A3 anyhow it is 0, right? Now what is B3? A by root 2 plus A by root 2, right? A by root 2 plus A by root 2, which is nothing but root 2A, right? Which is nothing but root 2A, right? If I give input power from, now which property it is? Power combination, power combination, right? Hence proved. Another power division property is proved, and power combination property. If I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, output is collected from port 3, right? Output is collected from port 3, that is power combination property, right? Hence both properties are proved, hence the whatever the matrix that we got is correct, right? Now this is about your H plane T junction, and this is also called as 3 dB splitter, right? And this is also called as 3 dB splitter. Now why it is called 3 dB splitter, let me explain. See if I give input, now power at port 3 is nothing but power at port 1 plus power at port 2, right? That means if I give input power from port 1 and port 2, output is collected at port 3, which is addition of those two input powers. Power combination property, power combination property. From power combination property, output power at port 3 is nothing but input power at port 1 plus input power at port 2, right? And these two powers are equal in magnitude and phase. As I have said, these two powers are equal in magnitude and phase. That's why P3 equals to 2P1 or 2P2, right? That's why P3 equals to 2P1 or 2P2. Now from power combination property, output power at port 3 is nothing but input power from port 1 plus input power from port 2, right? And these two are equal in magnitude and phase. That's why P3 equals to 2P1 or 2P2, right? Now the amount of power, coming out of port 1 or 2 due to input at port 3, right? Now the amount of power coming, if I give input from port 3, where you will get output is collected from port 1 or port 2. Now that amount of power, now that is given by 10 log to the base 10 output by input, right? 10 log to the base 10 output by input. Now what is the amount of power 10 log to the base 10? P out by P in, right? Now if I substitute those values, 10 log to the base 10, now what is P3? 2P1. P1 by P3, this is one more possible, or 10 log to the base 10 P2 by P3, right? Now P1 by 2P1, now P1 will get cancelled. Now minus 10 log to the base 10 2, you have 1 by 2, now minus 10 log to the base 10, now minus 10 of this you will get 0.3, and this is nothing but minus 3. That's why H plane T junction is also called as 3 dB splitter. That's why H plane T junction is also called as 3 dB splitter. Hence the statement is proved, right? Now from the power combination, you know that 10 log to the amount of power is nothing but P out by P in, right? Now if you give input power from port 3, output is collected from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? Now that is nothing but 2P1 by P1 by 2P1, you have 1 by 2, you will get minus 10 log to the base 10, this you will get minus 3, right? Now from power combination property, P3 is nothing but either 2P1 or 2P2, because you are giving equal amount of power through port 1 and port 2. Now the amount of power that is given by P out by P in, this is the H plane T junction acting as 3 dB split, right? Now here ends the topic of microwave passive device. First microwave passive device, that is H plane T junction, right?